The architect of the Fowler Files, Jeremy Fowler, is in the building this morning. Jeremy, we are watching several quarterbacks closely right now on the eve of this 14th Sunday in the NFL season. What can you tell us, starting with Lamar Jackson?
I'm trying to get focused. That dance you were just doing 20 seconds ago, we might need to see that again.
It was pretty good.
We got quarterback updates. That means we got to run the no-huddle offense to start with Lamar Jackson. So a little bit of a scare this week, Randy. He was limited in practice on Wednesday with an ankle, and then he got his foot area stepped on, so they sat him out Thursday. But he practiced yesterday. He is good to go. But this speaks to a bigger issue with Lamar Jackson with just various ailments the last 6 weeks. I have talked to some people in the building who wonder if that hamstring he suffered mid-season, if that's giving him trouble really opening up in the running game. So that's what they're sort of waiting on. This could be a big Derrick Henry game, by the way, but they're hopeful Lamar is getting healthy at the right time. And you got Jaden Daniels. He's back now. He's starting. The question is sort of like why. You're sitting at 3-9 if you're the Commanders. Well, a few reasons I was told. One, he's a second-year quarterback. They want to get him experience. Two, players play, Randy. That's what we know. He wants to play. He worked his way back. I do believe there was a time the Commanders were at least considering shutting him down for the year. But he's back, he's healthy, they want to play. Then you got Justin Herbert, so he's got the left hand issue. He had that small surgery early in the week to kind of stabilize a broken bone there. He's been limited in practice, so people I've talked to there believe that he's going to be good to go. They are optimistic. He's got to get through today's practice. They'll probably ramp him up a little bit. Chargers finally getting a little healthier. They're going to have some running backs back. I'm told Amari and Hampton should be activated off injured reserve. They feel good about where he's at. Got some running backs back. They're still beat up on the O-line, but they got Herbert. He's planning to play right now. They're
all small surgeries when they happen to someone else, aren't they? Bears and Packers, meanwhile, they meet with division implication. Why is there extra motivation that dates back to January here?
Yes, so Ben Johnson at his press conference got a little wild, was talking about, hey, look, I love beating Matt LaFleur twice a year, and I'm paraphrasing. I believe that Matt LaFleur banked that. He's not going to say that. He's going to say the right things this week, but he was looking forward to this matchup, circling it, and this is a matchup that's probably the best of the week. Green Bay believes that it's finally turned a corner on offense. The Bears believe they've turned a corner on offense because the way they're running the ball, they're out Rome Odunze. So you're going to have Luther Burden, the rookie, some other players that are going to have to step up in the passing game, but this is a situation where I think LaFleur, if he's got a chance to run up that score, it wouldn't shock if he does.
And maybe you also protect your quarterback from Micah Parsons if you run the football, if you're the Bears. But you're right, the Packers going to be pinning their ears back. More Jeremy ahead, including a quarterback that went first overall, who could be done with the team.
Very, very important high-stakes matchup. Namely, you got the Bills taking on Cincy. Playoff implications abound. Maybe the Bills getting some reinforcements back on offense, Jay?
Bills are trying to get tight end Dalton Kincaid back. He is questionable, shaping up to be more of a game-time decision right now because he's got a hamstring issue that he's been recovering from for the last 3 weeks, so that is feeling better. But however, a knee issue has popped up. So he was in practice on Friday in a brace. They're going to see how he feels over the weekend. The Bengals are preparing for him just in case, but the Bills have been beat up. Luckily for them, they've been running their rock with James Cook, throwing hundreds of yards on Pittsburgh last week, so they're feeling good regardless. But not a lot of injuries league-wide. A lot of these fantasy implication-type players, but Kincaid is a big one to watch.
Maybe a franchise city not feeling as good about the goings-on of their personnel as what's happening in the desert in Arizona. What are you hearing about Kyler Murray's future there?
Yeah, gee, this one's complicated because Kyler Murray out for the year. Head coach Jonathan Gannon said that his foot issue has just not responded the way they had hoped, so he won't play again this year. That brings up some huge implications for his future. So what I know, just talking to people around the league and with the Cardinals, is that he has had a foot issue. He got a second opinion on it. He has told coaches throughout the process that, hey, I'm trying to recover. I'm just not all the way there yet. However, people with around the league and with the team do acknowledge, like, there's probably a business element going on here because he's due nearly $37 million in guaranteed money in 2026. So is this similar to Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson or past situations where you got the guaranteed money, you want to make sure they don't get hurt so you can potentially move them, trade them down the line. So there's certainly a feeling right now in league circles that Kyler Murray could be in a new uniform next year. And they've been pretty good with Jacoby Brissett. Even though the offense has been beat up, they've been able to move the ball with him. That's at least, assuage the problems in the short term.
The Cardinals have made the postseason once in his 4 years there in the desert. It was a loss to the Rams 4 seasons ago. Jeremy Fowler breaking things down once again this morning on SportsCenter.
Talk about top spot in the AFC North on the line this weekend when the Steelers visit the Ravens. The good news for Baltimore, Lamar Jackson was back in practice today. He missed Thursday's practice with an ankle injury. As you know, he's been out of a lot of practices. Lamar is on track to play on Sunday. And as far as Pittsburgh goes, Sunday's really critical to their playoff hopes. We're talking a 47% swing based on this game alone, the highest differential of any team in Week 14. Looking at the team numbers more closely, the Steelers have a 64% chance to make the playoffs if they win. If they lose, only a 17 chance. The Ravens up to 75% if they win at home. We're lucky enough to have Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor with us.
What up, Brooke?
Yeah, Brooke, we were doing Vibe Check earlier today. That's coming up on Disney+. Steelers have lost 5 of their last 7 games. What's the vibe there? And people calling for Mike Tomlin to be fired?
Yeah, the vibe is not great. I think a moment in practice earlier this week illustrated that. Look, I'm just going to be blunt about it. Look, during practice, they moved practice indoors for every day this week. That was something that Aaron Rodgers asked for because he talked about it being way too cold outside. And Mike Tomlin said, yeah, look, I like to practice in the elements until we're in survival mode, and then maybe we can go inside. So the Steelers, of course, are in unfamiliar settings, or at least not their usual settings. They have a different aux system set up, and we're listening to Spotify warming up, and then all of a sudden there's an ad that's playing. You don't usually hear ads during warm-up music practice, so that's very uncharacteristic, but things are off the rails a little bit in Pittsburgh, right? And then at the end of practice, Aaron Rodgers was throwing a pass and a reporter caught it on the sideline. That was not his intended target. So things could be better. Making matters worse, Kyle Duggar is out this week. Hand injury. Derek Harmon, the rookie defensive tackle, who was drafted in a direct response to the Ravens rushing all over the Steelers in that wild card game, is also out for the second straight week with a knee injury.
Yikes.
Well, first off,
what else you got? That's all the bad news.
The Spotify premium note.
Well, first off, guys, that means that the Rooney family is still frugal. Right? They haven't let 6 Lombardis go to their heads. Right? They understand that in this society, in this economy, right? You have to be thinking toward the future.
That's exactly right.
They got to listen to one ad, then so be it during stretch. Now, I think, man, you know, she talked about it not being great. Like, let's be honest, it's bad. You can tell from Mike Tomlin having to acknowledge that he shared the frustration of the fans that were screaming, fire Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers calling out the wide receivers and the people who aren't showing up to extra meetings or who aren't getting the adjustments at the line of scrimmage. That's not the sign of a team that's together. That's not a sign of a team that has their arrow pointed upward. And then now when you go into this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, you're playing a team who, at least on paper, is much better, even though they haven't been playing that way. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens and I look at that film from last week and I say even in 11 personnel, they were able to run the football down the throats of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's where my game plan starts. And on the other side of the ball, this is a team offensively that hasn't been able to create explosive passing plays. And so can you use Kenneth Gainwell? Can you use guys like Jaylen Warren in the pass game to attack the linebackers of the Baltimore Ravens? Because to me, that's the only place I feel the Pittsburgh Steelers have a win, because you know outside it's going to be DK Metcalf or bust. And Aaron Rodgers has been trying to get the football out of his hands early, and when he doesn't, he isn't moving as effectively as he moved early on this year.
Obviously, he's injured as well, and he wasn't expected to come in and be the savior. We're supposed to have a fabulous defense.
I mean, you're supposed to have is harsh.
I was going to say, you're not the highest paid defense and not supposed to be.
Second highest paid and oldest, starting on average at 29 years old.
All right, let's go Pittsburgh. Here we go.
Defensively, they're allowing the 5th most points per game.
Yeah, so
what concerns you?
Well, a lot. I would say Ryan talking about that tape from last week. And now listen, Buffalo got basically into this formation. They ran essentially the same play 29 times. That's embarrassing. If I had to pick one clip to illustrate what is the starting point problem with the Steelers' run defense, it would be this one. I don't play defense, I never did, Ryan did, but everything I've always heard about defense is low man wins. And I look at this clip, and I go to a man across the board. He's standing up. He's completely 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 standing up. he's almost straight-legged. So I'm looking as a defense and going, there's not one person on this Pittsburgh Steelers run defense that is playing lower than anybody for the Buffalo Bills, and we wonder why there's these huge gashes in the run game and they're getting pushed around. It's because this has been the story for the year, that this Steelers defense, to a man against the run, is just constantly playing so high that we, as an offensive perspective, we just think we could push you around. That's exactly what Buffalo did. I promise you that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens are going to think and try to do.
Yeah, I mean, we all share the same thoughts about this matchup after what we saw last week. If I'm Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, I'm putting that tape on and I'm challenging every single member of the Ravens offense to replicate that. And people will say, well, the Bills have great offensive line. The Bills were down both of their tackles. And by the way, it wasn't just the offensive line. It was the Bills' skill players who were dominating them. Rashad Bateman and DeAndre Hopkins are big receivers. They should be able to get involved in the run game here, tight ends as well. And if the Steelers defense gets a little nosy against the run, and why wouldn't they after what happened last week, Lamar has to be accurate on those play action passes because they will be there in this game. There will be opportunities after what happened last week. Lamar simply has to hit them in a way that he hasn't over the last few weeks.
And when you look at that tape that Dan just showed, not only were they standing straight up, they were standing in the exact same spot. Right, when you see the best defensive line, they get penetration and they at least alter the track